Previously on Graphing with Mrs. Cartwright, we did some of the following. We talked about coordinate points, and that a coordinate point is made of an x and y value that correspond with their placements on a coordinate grid, which is this, with our x-axis running horizontally and our y-axis running vertically. We know that our x is our horizontal movement, which is our left to right. And that y is our vertical movement, which is our up or down. From there, we moved on to functions. We know that a function for every input, which is our x value, there is exactly one output, which is our y value. More simply put, x cannot cheat on y. Here are some examples. In a mapping diagram, our input should only have one arrow going from each. So when we look at B, each of these 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 2, 3 to 4, this makes this a function because every input has exactly one output. Whereas our next one, each of my inputs actually have two outputs, so this is not a function. What about looking at tables? When looking at tables, we want to make sure that our input only has one of that value. Here we have two ones, so this one is not a function. Here, -3, -2, -1, 0, all of those inputs are different, so this one is a function. But what if we are given a graph? Well, that's easy too. We use what we call that vertical line test. And we make sure that each of the vertical lines that we draw does not cross our graph more than once. And so when we're looking at our dots, we've got trouble here, 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 and here. So this makes this not a function, but when I draw vertical lines through this graph, I only cross my graph once, which makes this a function. So that's a review of functions. From there, we talked about slope, and that slope is a rate of change. And so slope equals m, which is our rise over our run, which is also our y minus y over x minus x. And so from here, going from, I always start from the leftmost dot to the rightmost dot, because then my negative, if I have a negative move, will always be down, and I don't have to remember left. But I'm going to count here. To get to this point, I got to go up 1, 2, 3 boxes. So up 3 and right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, right 5. So m will equal 3 over 5. Or if I'm given 2 points, then just remember m equals y minus y over x minus x. And so I'm going to take my y values, remember x, y, and I'm going to do that m will equal 4 minus 2 over 2 minus a -3. It is the same if I do 2 minus 4 over a -3 minus 2. I'm going to do 4 minus 2 gets us 2. 2 minus a -3 becomes plus a +3. Keep flip change. And so I end up with 5, 2/5. And I just want to show you, even if I do it down here, at first I get -2 and -5, but a negative divided by a negative gets us back to that +2/5. So either way we match it, as long as my 2, 4 matches vertically here, 2, 4, 2, 4, and my negative 3, 2 matches vertically, negative 3, 2, negative 3, 2. All right, from there we talked about linear versus nonlinear, and that to be a linear function, we have to, arrow here, has a constant rate of change, which we said before is slope. And then, by association, nonlinear does not. So, what if I have a graph? Well, if I have a graph, then a linear is a line. B is a parabola or a U shape, so this is nonlinear. What about if I have tables? What am I looking for? Well, if I have tables, I'm looking for that slope. 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 2 is 1, 4 minus 3 is 1, 5 minus 4 is 1. Negative 16 minus negative 8 is negative 8. Negative 24 minus a negative 16 is negative 8. Negative 32 minus negative 24 is negative 8. Negative 40 minus negative 32 is negative 8. Constant rate of change, negative 8 over 1. This is linear. Whereas here, these are all increasing by 1, so we're off to a good start. But over here, 2.5 minus 1.5 is 1. 5.5 minus 2.5 is 3. At that point, I know that I am non-linear. All right, and then from there, lastly, in our review session, graphing slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is slope and b is y-intercept. And when I taught this, I said begin at B and move slope. Look at that alliteration that I'm using there. I also said start with figuring out what your M and B is first. Identify it. So on this one, M is 4/3. B, take the sign with it, -1. So we're going to start at the point 0, -1. So I start at 0, I go down to the -1. That's my first point. From there, I move up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, 2, 3. That's where my next point goes. Oops, my -1 disappeared. I can also go the opposite. So the opposite of up and right would be down and left. So I can go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1, 2, 3. And that's my third point. And then I do third point. And then I do my best to draw a straight line through. Hey, that's one of the best ones I've done on a video. And we've made it through the review of graphing with Mrs. Cartwright. If you need to go through any of that, or you need a more in-depth, remember that you still have access to all the videos from before. But this is just a quick recap of everything we learned. Until next time, 8th graders. Peace out.